A defendant facing drug-related charges, methamphetamine, reduced to a misdemeanor but with a history that's about to change everything. The court already knows she's not eligible for leniency programs, and today is sentencing day. But here's where it gets intense. The defense is asking for probation, while the prosecution is pushing for jail time due to ongoing substance use. And just wait until you hear what happens when the judge directly confronts her about her condition in real time. This case isn't just about drugs, it's about accountability, addiction, and a brutal reality check inside a courtroom. So the question is, should the court show mercy or draw a hard line?
All right. This is file 252390 FY People Jody Lynette Wood. Started out as a possession of methamphetamine, was reduced to a use of a controlled substance, methamphetamine, misdemeanor, set for sentencing today. Defendant is not eligible for 7411 or other deferral because she has previous cases. Ms. Strong, what would you like me to know?
Thank you, Your Honor. As indicated at the time of the plea, Ms. Wood, the court informed her that she was not necessarily a candidate for probation. We would ask the court to consider a probation with the understanding that the court might impose a jail consequence. This case was a residue case, and it was predicated by law enforcement responding to a concerned citizen. Ms. Wood was having an episode. She was taken to the hospital for chest pain and anxiety. And while this was ongoing, her bag was searched and residue was found. I would ask the court to consider that in imposing her sentence. If the court is inclined to use jail, the request from the defendant is that it be scheduled so that she can manage her other residential and caregiving obligations around that.
All right, thank you. Ms. Canfield?
Thank you, Your Honor. I am looking at laboratory report GR 25-3655 record 1, which does confirm counsel's representation that it was methamphetamine residue that was found. In that respect, just for the court's information. Mr. Robert's notes indicate that at the time of the pre-exam conference when this offer was made, the defendant was still utilizing substances. It was also indicated that Your Honor indicated he would want to have her tested on the day of sentencing. I don't know if anybody's available to do so. But I do think that the court made her aware again of the possible impending jail at sentencing and to make provisions for her animals and things, if in fact that was the case when she came back for today. So I guess I'm concerned that there is a high level of substance abuse here, even though it was a residue case and resulted in a misdemeanor offer. I would suspect that some jail may be appropriate, if only to give the defendant some clean time as a consequence.
All right, Miss Wood, what would you like me to know?
Sir, I was really hoping maybe I could get weekends. So, because I can't find anybody that will take care of 10 dogs that long of a period of time. You know what I mean? I mean, I've got 8 puppies and 2 adult dogs, and it's just, and a disabled husband I gotta take care of, even though he lives at his mom's house. I still have to take care of him. And it's just, I don't know, my plate's full, for sure.
Well, I've seen those dogs. I mentioned I've seen you walking.
I just had another litter too.
Well, they're pit bulls.
Was
And you're right, it probably is hard to find somebody to take care of them.
These ones are a pit bull, like a walker kind of dog. One was a golden doodle, like a tall golden doodle was the dad, and then the mom was Chocolate. She's a real big girl too. And yeah, so they're really big puppies, and then I gotta get a kennel fixed up for them. They were out there hanging through the kennel yesterday, and I'm just like, I can't get help from him to get the kennel ready. and
All
it's
right,
just-
now I had
I'm trying.
indicated that we would probably, you don't look good. You look like,
I'm very stressed.
you look like methamphetamine. If I give you a test right now, what will it show?
I will be dirty.
All
But
right.
yesterday is the first time I used for a couple, 2 or 3 days though.
All right, well, that's a start. You had a use of methamphetamine in 24. And I gave you 24 days jail, credit 12, and I gave you time to pay the fines and costs, and you haven't paid the fines and costs. You got a retail fraud charge in 2025 that reduced to a civil infraction. You haven't paid that either, and you're still using methamphetamine. This is a trace amount, but a probation isn't gonna do it, and you knew the day was coming. I'm gonna give you a 31 days, credit 1. You're just gonna go right now. Somebody's gonna deal with your dogs. You're gonna get 30 days of clean time for methamphetamine. I'm
What
waiving
am I
all,
supposed to do with my dogs?
I don't know. I'm waiving everything except $125 or 2 additional days. These were, you're just a person with a substance abuse addiction. They don't call it that anymore, but it is. You're addicted to methamphetamine. You keep using, you're making your way through the world. What meager resources you have, you're spending on your dogs and methamphetamine, and you're just killing yourself. So you're gonna go to jail for 30 days. I gave you 24 days last time. You never paid the fine.
Sir,
So you can go with the officer.
I was planning on paying my fines when I had my, when I got my taxes back.
All right, well, all I ordered here was $125 for 2 additional days. I appreciate your candor.
This case is a textbook example of how courts handle repeat substance abuse offenses, especially when prior leniency hasn't worked. Even though this started as a residue-level meth case, the judge focused on a much bigger issue: ongoing drug use, unpaid fines, and a pattern of behavior that showed probation simply wouldn't be effective. Instead of granting flexibility, the court imposed 30 days in jail not just as punishment, but as what the judge called clean time. That's a critical legal concept here. Sometimes short-term incarceration is used to interrupt addiction cycles when other options fail. But what do you think? Was this the right call? Should the judge have shown more flexibility given her personal responsibilities? Or was jail the only realistic option left? If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button. Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.